Hello and welcome to Morning Call for Tuesday, 30th of April, 2019. I'm Fab from Hamburg, where it is lovely and sunny. I hope you're having as nice weather as we're having here in a moment. If you watch this on stream live, then you will have just heard the new single by Bruce Springsteen, which is called Hello Sunshine, which I thought fits this day perfectly. And let's get into the tech news. I didn't do a show yesterday because I was away on business. So we got a full docket, so to speak. Some interesting stuff has happened. First off, if you have doubted until now that we live in a very strange world, I think you should come to that realization finally, because we do live in a world where the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, so the government oversight body for stock, corporations that are publicly listed and have investors and stuff like that, is now involved in legal proceedings to mandate Twitter use. This is, of course, down to Elon Musk, which in the past has tweeted some things that made Tesla stock go up, go down, go sideways, which the investors, in most cases, didn't really appreciate. I mean, he said things that weren't true. If you was Trump, you'd say he lied, but people generally say it wasn't true. And so there was this battle. He had this chaperone. He could only tweet with this chaperone. Then reportedly he did without that. And now a judge has decided that he can use Twitter in his, he can basically talk about whatever he wants, except if it involves any of his companies and involves such things as the company's financial condition, production numbers, sales, new or proposed business lines, projection, forecast, or estimate numbers regarding Tesla's business, events regarding the company's securities, including Musk's acquisition or disposition of shares, non-public legal or regulatory findings or decisions, and any event requiring filing in Form 8K, such as changing control, changing the company's directors, etc., etc. If any of this is involved, then Trump needs to clear his tweets. He needs to get them approved beforehand, I guess, by somebody on the company, I guess we will soon, I feel, see a new C-level executive position next to the CTO, which will be the CTO2 or something, the chief tweeting officer, or the chief CSO, chief social media officer. Isn't there a CSO already? Something like this. Yeah. What an interesting world we live in, don't we? Speaking of an interesting world, if you use Docker, which you probably are if you do anything with systems administration, DevOps, or anything like this, Then you should be aware that Docker Hub, the main repository for Docker containers, like online listed Docker containers, was hacked. And the data of 190,000 users, which is about 5%, was compromised. And apparently what was compromised was usernames, hashed passwords, and GitHub and Bitbucket tokens for Docker auto builds, which Heise is reporting. And you should change your passwords and check your logs. That's apparently what Docker is saying. Always a good call. Check your logs. Pretty much any situation. So if you use Docker, just be aware of that. Then just an FYI, if you're in America, some security researchers who were working on a web mapping project have discovered personal information of about 80 million US households online, freely accessible. This is the register reporting this. They don't know who left it there, and they're trying to find out. So 80 million US households. That's as many households as Germany has inhabitants. It's about what were they saying, 65%. This happens quite a lot, as the register also points out, exposed databases. I think there was mostly, there were full names in there, full addresses, longitude and latitude, positional data, age, date of birth, and numeric codes representing title, gender, marital status, income, homeowner status, and dwelling type. And of course, so this must be like a real estate, something connected to real estate, I'm guessing. And the problem is, of course, also that in the US with location data, you can pretty much find out what somebody's place cost, and how much it's worth, and probably what they're owning and stuff like that. I did a research course once where one of the exercises was to track down a US celebrity, basically figure out where they live, and then figure out as much as you could, and we could kind of go as far as like telling when the garbage collect. You could figure out what their house cost, of course, and then also when the garbage collectors were coming, what days, and shit like that. So that is quite substantial data, and interesting that they don't know who left the data there. I'm not sure they will come forward on their own and say, hey, it's our data, we fucked up, because it's gonna have some serious repercussions. Spotify, interestingly, they also posted like its results time, isn't it? Everybody's posting their financial results, and Spotify has reported that they have more than 10 million paying users, but they still made a loss of 142 million euros in the first quarter. So they're not earning. They still continue to lose money, and their loss has increased. So I don't know really why that is. Probably all the licensing money still. So they have 217 million active users, and about 100 million of those have a subscription, which is quite good. It's almost 50%. I think that for a service like that is pretty substantial. Even if you imagine that you can use quite a lot of Spotify without, it's quite a usable service without paying for it. It's a bit annoying, but still. That's pretty amazing. And they, in the last 3 months, they got 4 million paying subscribers, increased 4 million more, which isn't bad. I mean, it's quite good. But they're saying they have quite a big growth with podcasts now. They've been banging that drum for a while, and I don't know why they are still such a big loss. I mean, something there's something that must have something to do with this is that they're in Europe, so I'm guessing they're paying quite a lot more taxes than an American startup would. And there must be all the licensing fees as well, and probably operating costs with all the servers. Interesting. Meanwhile, the Apache Software Foundation is reporting that they have moved all their source codes for the Apache software projects, so all the projects under their umbrella, to GitHub. They've migrated to GitHub. They used to use their own internal Git. I mean, I think they migrated to Git quite a few years ago. I think for a long time they were using Subversion, and now they've just migrated to GitHub. So another major win for Microsoft on their crusade to, I don't know, swallow all open source projects. I have no idea, but it makes sense. GitHub is quite usable, and I mean they're collaborating with GitHub, and yeah, that's quite a lot of open source code. So they started integrating stuff with GitHub in 2016. It's pretty big, and for a long time it was only like read only on there, and now they've migrated that. It's 350 projects. Has reporting here, more than 200 million lines of code. That is quite a lot. And, the Apache Software Foundation, generally not like really interesting, sexy stuff, but it's a lot of backbones things, middleware kind of stuff that a hell of a lot of people use. Drone news in Germany. If you're flying drones, you're probably doing so illegally. Heise here reporting that, just generally out of privacy, data protection reasons, it's if you're flying drones in areas, in populated areas, you're probably filming somebody's backyard or, somebody's balcony or just somebody's, real estate basically. And in Germany that is illegal if you're not on public property, i.e. roads and stuff. People in their in their houses and in their backyards and stuff have an assumption of privacy, and you're not allowed to film them there or film anything there without express permissions, which you generally wouldn't have, like especially if a drone, if you're flying over a populated area, there will be, lots of backyards and balconies you're filming. And so generally it is you're probably not allowed to do that. Interestingly, Heise here also reporting on a story from Germany where a local court. So there was a case where somebody was flying a drone over his property, and their neighbor who were
new follower,
hello,
come
a new
underscore
follower.
underscore my
That's a
underscore
lovely
eyes.
name there. I'm not gonna read that out. That's a bit spammy. Well, whatever floats your boat, man. Yeah, so they were flying a drone over their property, and their neighbor was like, "Oh, they're probably filming me too." Got an air rifle, shot the drone down. Court went, okay, or the drone owner went, "Well, that's 1,500 euros in the can. Please, I'm going to take you to court. I want that 1,500 euros back." So he was probably asking. The neighbor was like, "No, you didn't have my permission. I shot the bloody drone down. I'm not giving you 1,500 euros." He took the guy to court, and the court went, no. The guy who shot the drone down is completely in his right to do so. So they're saying that because of that assumption of privacy, there's actually an expectation that you are allowed to kind of defend that. And obviously he didn't like, if you have somebody taking photos of your property, you can't shoot the guy, but apparently you can shoot his drone. So if you have a drone, just be careful. There might be somebody with an air rifle gunning for it. I've reported on this price hike in org domains, where kind of like the internet body ICANN that is saying controlling domains, and they manage the org info and .biz domains, and especially .org. They were saying it might be more expensive to we might raise the prices. We had a rule that you could only raise them 10% each year, which they haven't done. They haven't raised it as much, but they were saying we might raise this. Now it turns out people were protesting. There were Namecheap wrote a blog post, and now people are protesting the mailing list. So they were asking for comments, and that mailing list is getting inundated. There's thousands of people writing emails to this mailing list saying no, don't do that. Fed an org domain since 1992. You're just gouging us now. Don't do this. Just look at this. I'm scrolling through this list. Scroll. There's lots of emails from lots of people. Goes on and 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 on. I could probably scroll this all day. Yeah. So that's the thing. Let's dig on an earful. Let's see if that happens. Microsoft is saying, or people are reporting, in this case the Register, that the next Windows update. So far you needed about 60 gigabytes for one of these, like, to have one of these big feature updates installed for Microsoft. Now Microsoft's saying no. For the next one you need 32 gigabytes. So that's the 1903 update that is supposed to come out in May. So next month, coming month, we'll see how that goes. 62 gigabytes. So it won't be able, like, there's some machines that don't have that, like some small cheap portable machines where this will be a problem. We'll see. Just be aware of that. Just clean up your hard drive a little bit there if you want the new Windows 10 version. And then I'm gonna go out with some what the fuck and some gaming news. Although the gaming news are also what the fuck news. First story here from Japan. In Japan tomorrow on the 1st of May, a new emperor will ascend the throne. And the way they do this in Japan is they have like a new era with a name. And also this era will cause the calendar to be turned to year one again. Like for they use the Gregorian calendar in most places, but like for the official government, all official government communications, they use this calendar. And so they have to turn the calendar back to year one, which hasn't happened. It only happens when a new emperor ascends, which hasn't happened since '89, when computers weren't that important. Now, the IT guys are saying, "Oh my God, this could be a year 2K problem. This time it could really break everything." So there's going to be lots of coding. They're coding furiously. They're testing furiously, and they have already announced the name of this era beforehand, which is a break with tradition, which they usually don't do, just for the IT guys, so they could like code that into their stuff. Generally, there will be, I guess, more than a week of holidays for everybody in Japan now after this, so that's kind of handy. But I guess the IT guys will be spending that furiously coding, and as Golem reports here, coding, sweating, testing, sweating, coding. Yeah, don't want to be an IT guy in Japan right now. That's something that came out of left field for me. I had no idea that they still do this era stuff. I thought that stopped with that sometime in the 19th century, but apparently they don't. They don't. Japan, a very traditionalist country, which I don't think is bad generally, but it creates problems if you have to deal with computers. Harry Vatana says, "All hail the new god emperor of mankind." What do you mean, new god emperor? What kind of a fucking heretic are you? To burn the chat down now? There's only one God Emperor. And there's no new God Emperor ascending to the throne because the old one is already dead. It's not like he's gonna go anywhere. It can't get much worse. So I know the Imperium of Man doesn't have any Y2K problems. They have a quite complicated dating system. That brings me that gives me the idea to look up what the current imperial date is. What was it? God, I set a system up for this. Yeah, if you're wondering, clock.monitorum.net. It's a little site I made. So today is 0327 M3. This is the current imperial date. So that's a handy little tip for you. Anyway, in other what the fuck stuff, apparently they're still working on Star Citizen. Golem has looked at the new Star Citizen the Alpha 3.5 and played it a bit. It has a screenshot of a company logo called Golem Tech in the game. And it says Golem didn't pay for this logo underneath it. That's quite nice. Yeah, I guess there's another thing that they'll still be working on when the God Emperor of Mankind is long dead on his throne, still slaving away on Star Citizen when we'll actually have actual space travel. Anyway, looks quite nice. It's got CGI generated cities now, but Golem's like there's some annoying stuff. It takes like 20 minutes to fly from place to place. And then you die because you're falling through the floor in an elevator, and then you have to do it again. That's a bit annoying. They're like, oh, for moments it's great. Like it's new character creators. You can now be a woman if you want to. That's quite nice. Facial animations are great. So I guess they're better than in Andromeda. But sometimes you have people like there's bugs. Of course, there are bugs. People sticking in each other. They're also kind of saying it's a bit frustrating. Wait, I'll have to find this. Where was that? I love this quote. Man, where the heck? Oh God, I love this quote so much. I wish I had like something to mark up web. I need the plugin for something like this. So okay, they're saying they took like ages to fly there, and then they're basically they keep dying. Where was this piece? Christ. Oh yeah. It gets a bit, so quoting Golem, gets a bit annoying. Talking about the game, it looks nice, and it's like, sometimes you don't even feel like it's an alpha, but then it gets a bit annoying when my character just dies for no apparent reason. And you try to get out of a ship, you fall into space, then you suffocate, you break your legs trying to go up a ramp, you fall through a elevator and then you die, which is kind of funny, they're saying, but then it just took me 20 minutes to get to this place and now I have to do it again. Okay, that'll still have some work to do on Star Citizen there, I feel. I will be talking about that for a long time to come, I guess. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you have a nice day. Tomorrow I'll have to again not do a show, because we're having a party here with friends, and I'll have people stay over tomorrow, and I can't really do a morning show with like hungover people draped over the back, draped over that couch and stuff. That wouldn't go so well. So I'll see you again on Thursday I'll pick any interesting stuff that happens tomorrow. I'll pick that up. Anyway, I hope until then, I hope you have some nice time. I hope you have as much sunshine as we're having here. I'm already getting tanned. I'm doing quite good. I'm quite happy. My motorbike's fixed. It just took ages, but it's fixed, and I can finally ride again. So that's great. Anyway, hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you on Thursday. Until then, have a good time. See you then. Goodbye.